Hello friends, this is Chris Orwig, and I am here to talk about my new book, Authentic Portraits. You know, today I had my camera set up because I was filming some tutorials, but I thought, you know what? I want to read something from my book today because a lot of people are doing book readings and sharing content, so I thought I would as well. And what I want to do is read from chapter 1, just so you can get a feel for the book. And thanks to everyone who's sent really kind notes and giving me some good feedback on this one. I'm so proud of this book. It's deeply, it's deep for me, and I poured a lot into it. So here goes, chapter 1, Authentic Portraits. The purpose of art is to stop time. The most memorable portraits are simple, strong, and true. They convey personality, presence, emotion, values, and ideals. They awaken our senses. They make us feel. They go beneath the surface and remind us what it means to be alive. In short, they are authentic and real. This is authentic portraiture. And this type of portraiture is just as much about you, the photographer, as it is about the subject. It's about having your own vision and voice for capturing and conveying the inner essence of who someone is. In authentic portraits, we're going to explore how this is done. Whether you're new to portraiture or you just want to add the skill to an already flourishing craft, I hope this book is a helpful guide. It won't provide all the answers, and obviously no book does that, right? But it will help you ask the right questions. I love books that ask questions, and hopefully this one will get you thinking about things, and it will ask some of the right questions. And it will make you want to take the journey yourself. And that's a trick with photo education, is often it's entertaining, it's exciting, but then we're just passively watching someone else create. This book will light a fire, it will get you going. All right, let me keep going. Before we begin, a word of wisdom. Photography is among the easiest art forms to practice, but one of the hardest to achieve your own unique vision, voice, and style. Taking a photograph is easy, but making a meaningful portrait requires a broad set of skills. And authentic portraiture isn't something you master, but something you pursue. And that's really important. Authenticity isn't like, okay, I arrived, this is authentic, but it's always that pursuit. You're always aiming for it. Kind of like healthy eating and fitness. It's a lifelong pursuit rather than something you do once and cross off the list. And a significant part of capturing better and more authentic portraits is learning how to become more authentic yourself. Becoming your true, unfiltered, and best self is no easy task. That's why so many books, seminars, and conferences address the topic. Plus, becoming more authentic is connected to improving almost every aspect of your life. And so it's relevant to anyone who wants to live a more amplified life. Yet, as photographers, we have a multifaceted need for authenticity. We need to be our best authentic selves while we ask others to do the same. Because photography is a craft, this can be quite a challenge. Clearly, learning the fundamental techniques of exposure, focus, composition is essential, but authentic portraits are not made by cameras alone. They are the result of a collaboration and connection between both parties involved. Next page here, collaboration and mystery. Every good portrait is a collaboration between the subject and the photographer. The photographer must learn not only how to use her equipment well, but how to see and how to be present, mindful, open, trustworthy, inquisitive, curious, and kind. The portrait photographer must also learn how to look past the surface and search for hidden truths. Portrait photography is about the active search for the magnificent in the mundane. And it's about searching intently for beauty, strength, and depth. Most of all, authentic portraiture is about capturing the inner essence and infinite spirit within us all. So when I capture a portrait, I look for what can't easily be seen. I search for inner strength, silence, and soul. I hope to find hidden beauty, tenacity, or resolve. I want to find the person and personality under the facade. I aim to discover something that is real, whether that's fun, funny, wistful, or wise. All the while, it's helpful to ask, how can I craft and convey the inner story of who this person is? While we search for this inner narrative, we also must consider light, space, place, color, and style. When all these elements converge, time slows down in a sacred way. Have you ever experienced that? You know, when you're in that portrait session and you're connecting with someone and time just slows down. It's a really beautiful and sacred moment. Okay, back to the book. In these moments, the rest of the world fades and I press the shutter release with a heart full of hope. Hope that the camera captures what I feel. Hope that the resulting image honors the person standing before my lens. Capturing portraits this way requires a combination of observation, aspiration, serendipity, and skill. That's why it takes time to cultivate this craft. What looks nonchalant is more calculated than it seems. You must work with discipline, focus, and drive. Yet at the same time, be open to the fact that portraiture is less about perfection and more about letting the magic unfold. Portraiture is a mysterious and unpredictable craft. The best portraits deepen this mystery rather than solve it right away. Let me read that again. Reading it for myself, I think. Portraiture is a mysterious and unpredictable craft. The best portraits always deepen this mystery rather than solve it right away. As I'll discuss later, great portraits ask more questions than they provide answers. Those are the portraits that truly succeed. The portraits that fail often do so because they say too much about all the wrong things like clothes, hair, looks, light, shape, and form. Making successful portraits requires balancing the externals, light, directing, clothes, looks, and the inner narrative of the subject, personality, identity, essence, soul. If one element is out of balance, it can tip the scale. A huge and exaggerated grin, well, it can ruin the entire frame, while a slight smile might add intrigue. With this balancing concept in mind, portrait photographers can learn much from other creative fields, especially those that strive to explore the inner landscape of life with artistic tact and skill. For example, let's look at how acting can inform the way we make portraits. Here's the next spread. This is Young Pueblo, a poet, one of my favorite poets, and the title of the section is Looking Deeply. The legendary actor Dustin Hoffman gives this advice to young and inspiring actors. Never practice your lines in front of a mirror. He protests against reducing the art of acting to how it looks. Hoffman argues, acting isn't what you say or what you look like, but it's what you feel. It's not what you see on the outside, but what wells up from within. So it is with portraiture. Visual appearance, it does matter, but the true aim of a portrait isn't looks, it's the human spirit within. The portrait artist who learns how to find that inner wellspring of abundance will go far because of how they connect, how they create, and how they learn, and how they grow. That growth, it will be reflected in their frames. Meanwhile, the photographer who continues to capture only the surface will stagnate and wonder why their photographs aren't getting better over time. Plus, once you get out of the habit of looking deeply, the visual interest of the outside world, it starts to dominate your view. And you forget how to truly observe, how to look past the surface and go deep. This book aims to reverse that trend. The good news is that what we have forgotten or lost can be quickly regained, and I really believe that. When it comes to rekindling our sensory and observational skills, it helps to first look within ourselves and then to look towards our subjects. This idea of looking within isn't just good form, it's essential if we want to create something more than shallow frames. And while we must search deeply, we need to display what we find with a light touch, so that our frames aren't filled with a tension or a heaviness that comes from trying too hard. The next spread here is called Uncontrived. Mitch, a theater professor and friend, put it this way: when you act, you must feel at 100%, but give 80%. Otherwise, the emotion, expression, or idea will feel overdone. And while we must dig deep, we must also take pains to make it look uncontrived. We must create photographs that convey emotion, but do so without the appearance of being overly emotional. We must express the soul without falling into the trap of using cliches, exaggerated gestures, or mystical light. Ultimately, we do this by striving for authenticity. As you're starting to see, this is a book about portraiture, but also about you. Life and photography are inextricably intertwined, like a tree and its roots. So this book is about how to use a camera, how to engage with subjects, how to expose properly, and it's also a book how to think, how to work, how to become a better version of yourself. Because who we are has the largest impact on what we create. And that is the end of chapter number 1 there. And then chapter number 2 is called Beneath the Surface. I hope you enjoyed this little book reading. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about this topic and I'm super proud of this book. And if any of this resonated with you, this may be the time to pick up this book and to dig deep into the topic of portraiture. And here's one of the reasons why I believe in portraiture, and that is because I have gained so much wisdom from all of the different people that I've photographed. And I find that with camera in hand, it gives me an opportunity to connect in a deep way with someone and also to learn and to grow and to change. All right, so there you have it. Authentic Portraits by Chris Orwig. Have a great day.